Hello, everybody. Ron Callis here. Another episode of Automation Unplugged brought to you by One Firefly. I hope that you're having an awesome Wednesday, that you're not too tired or otherwise burned out from all of your Halloween activities last evening. Let me go ahead and check our Facebook page just to make sure that this stream is in fact coming in okay. So just bear with me here for a moment, everybody. Let's see here. Oh, goodness. There we are. Looks like we're live, starting to build audience. So if you're out there, thank you for watching. If you're watching this live, please like this. Please give me a comment and just let me know that this is coming through okay. Just say, hey, I'm here, and it looks okay and it sounds okay. That's always helpful. And if you're watching this at some future date that is not November 1st, please share this and like this anyway, and that helps us ultimately hear from you, which is always fun, and it also helps the reach of the content reach more people. All right, so without further ado, I'm going to bring in our guest for today. I've got Todd Girdis. Todd is the Director of Sales and Marketing over at RowOne Home Entertainment. Todd, how's it going, sir?
Great, Ron. How are you doing?
I am well. Where are you coming to us today from?
Coming to you live from Ann Arbor, Michigan, and we had trick-or-treaters here. Had a fun time last night. 18 pounds of chocolate collected by my youngest daughter. We're
18?
calling that.
Oh,
yeah.
That's how old is your daughter?
My youngest daughter, she is 10 years old, Sophia.
She is 10. And do you have more than one child?
I do. I've got two girls, Elise, who is about to be 18 and a senior in high school, and then Sophia, 10, in 5th grade. So lots of action. Bit busy year this year.
I can only imagine. Did Dad dress up as well for Halloween last night?
Dad only dressed up with a coat and a warm beverage. That was my costume.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, my son is, his name is Max. He is 8 and in the 3rd grade. And he actually had changed course, said he was going to not go walk around the neighborhood this year and collect candy, and that he wanted to be delivering or handing out candy. And so it was a bit of a change of, I guess, course for him. But we supported him. We said, yeah, let's hand out the candy. And then here, right in the last minute, I swear it was around 6:30 last evening, he got talking to some of the neighbor kids, and next thing he does, he runs into the house and says, all right, I want to go trick-or-treating now. So we threw a Star Wars, I think he was Obi-Wan Kenobi, and I threw on my Captain Kirk Star Trek outfit, and my wife, she wasn't playing ball, so she just threw on a sweater. And we went out and hit the neighborhood. So
yeah,
it's always fun
night. Yes, and you had the parody of Star Trek versus Star Wars.
You like that? Nice.
Yeah, I recognize
the old versus the newer, but still old.
Yes, we were having a debate about whether or not the new Star Wars in December is part of a trilogy or if it's standalone. So there's a debate going on right now about that. So
the new Star Wars that's coming out in December?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Oh, this is Disney. Come on. They're going to trilogize everything they possibly can. There'll be trilogies of trilogies. It's all about revenue, baby. All right. So, Todd, our audience, and by the way, if you're out there, thank you for watching. Our audience may not know you and or your background, and it's a pretty diverse background and how you landed where you are today at RowOne Home Entertainment. And I want to talk more about home entertainment and the future of home theater and of course, furnishings within home theater. But can we start with a little bit about yourself and your background and how you kind of came to be where you are?
Yeah, thanks, Ron. I've been in the industry. It's an industry that I definitely love. I love being a part of it. There's definitely great relationships that have been built over the years, and it's a little bit unique in my background. I was an AV integrator in Southeast Michigan, owner and operator of IntelliHome Systems, and had done that for over 10 years. And we marketed directly to mainly production, semi-production, semi-custom builders here in Southeast Michigan. Did that, as I mentioned, for just over 10 years, and kind of started my knowledge and relationships, getting to know the different players. Of course, that's changed over the long haul. And then I had the opportunity to work with a couple manufacturers. One of them was a startup in the control space called iRule, now On Controls, as well as currently working as the Director of Sales and AV Marketing for RowOne. And then I've also worked for an industry group. Got some great industry groups, HTSA, AIN Group, ProSource, to name a couple of them. And I had the honor to work with the AIN Group team, which is a group of about 225 low voltage companies across the United States. So it's kind of unique in that I've had the opportunity to work across these three different groups, and I try to bring that to RowOne and the relationships that we're trying to build with the AV community.
Can you tell our audience a little bit more about RowOne? Who and what is RowOne, and what specifically are your roles and responsibilities there?
Yeah, so RowOne is unique in that we're not just a home theater seating company, but we're also a home entertainment seating company, and we have the broadest collection in the industry of chairs available. Not just one group, but we have everything from an entry level with our RowOne Direct collection available to the AV dealer community, as well as the furniture channel. And we've got those chairs are available on a quick ship basis. And then we have our brand new silver screen collection, which we'll talk a little bit more about. And the last collection that we have is our RowOne Domestic, so made right here in the USA. So just from our chairs alone, we've got some unique products available to AV dealers and their consumers. Another unique feature about our company is our collection of wood products. So we're the only manufacturer in the seating home entertainment industry that is offering seating along with wood products, and those things can be anything from complete home theater columns, floor molding, crown molding, available in 20 different finishes, to risers for second and third row seats within home theaters, to Cinebars. Those are typically used either in home theater applications behind the last row of seating, along with bar stools, or in high rises. So, and our last kind of unique feature is our diamond delivery program, and if there's time, I'll explain a little bit more about that. So,
now you had mentioned Made in America. Are some of your products made here in America, and is that an important part of the branding for RowOne?
It is. There's still a number of consumers that look for a Made in the USA label. We have the RowOne Domestic line, which is completely made here in America. The factory is located down in North Carolina, and then all of the wood products that I mentioned in that collection are made in the USA as well, and they are made in the state of Ohio.
Okay, no, that's impressive. And how did the company grow from just doing seating to also doing all these other wood products? Did the company, and if you don't mind, could you talk a little bit about the history of the company and the founder, Robert, and who he is? And then, of course, the history of the extension of the product lines?
Yeah, so Robert is the president and founder of RowOne, and we got started in 2009 originally.
It's a newer company.
Yes, correct. So got started at that time, and was actually working. The way that the wood products came about is through a relationship that we had with Circuit City, one of the former AV retailers in our industry, and they came to us looking for a way that they could do quick install of home theaters, not just the seating, but how could they actually do a complete room, and that became the birth of the wood products. And then from the dealer community, we noticed that a lot of dealers were doing MDU, or the residential power applications. And so from that came about the Cinnabar application to be able to do that and kind of complete the line out. So one of the things that I love about Robert is his relationships that he has with the manufacturing community. So when a dealer has a unique request, for example, in that RowOne wood products collection for the home theater in a box piece, if a dealer doesn't have a standard screen of 130 inches and their screen is 110 or 90 inches, using the relationships we have built up over the years, we can customize that for the dealer and provide them with the same high quality product, even though it's a custom piece.
Now, you and I, Todd, crossed paths at CEDIA. I remember I was walking back to my booth, and I actually didn't realize it, but our booths were relatively close. And I ended up sitting down in a very comfortable chair, and you set me up with a very nice portable ottoman that had a foot massager. And I think I woke up several hours later because I was just having a great time. So thank you for that. But how was CEDIA for RowOne? How did the whole show turn out for you guys?
Yeah, it ended up being great, and I'm very glad you, along with our neighbors as well, other manufacturers, enjoyed those foot massagers. And stay tuned. We may have a future product announcement about that. But CEDIA was great. And it was great because we launched the brand new Silver Screen collection. So that's a midline collection of chairs, all 100% top grain leather, fully finished backs, 13 plus different colors available to choose from. And we had some fun too in the design. There are two chairs in particular that dealers might recognize on our website. If you go to RowOneHT.com and click on the Silver Screen collection, you'll notice that two of the chairs might look very much like vintage cars. One of them is from the '61 Mustang, and the other is from the original Corvette. So oh, wow. We've had some fun, and the dealers like that. We're not just about selling the products, but we're also about trying to make it fun for the consumer. And so we've got some dealers that are working with us to create some unique ideas in their showrooms with those classic cars as well. So, but Silver Screen was awesome, and we took a record number of orders, and we were just at HTSA Fall Conference in Chicago. We really appreciate all the dealers there. Took more orders for Silver Screen, and we're looking forward to the future with that.
Yeah, so I want to come back to HTSA, but before we go there, I just would like at a 30,000 foot view, what is your perspective on what's happening right now in the world of home theaters? Are home theaters on the rise? Are they on the decline? And what sort of trends are you seeing at the manufacturer level?
Yeah, thanks, Ron. I would say that, the home theater market itself is not anywhere near to where it was pre-recession. It has come back. There are definitely more opportunities and some hot spots. But one of the opportunities that we see in the industry is really the home entertainment side of the business. The days, we've had cup holders, for examples, in our cars. We always tell our dealers, you've had cup holders in your cars now for at least 10 years as a standard feature. So when you look at home theater seating, it's a growing opportunity, but the real opportunity is in home entertainment seating, looking at the great rooms, looking at the media rooms, the game rooms.
What's the primary difference, like from a home theater seating product to a home entertainment or a multi-purpose room seating product? Are the chairs the same and it's just putting that product into a different environment, or are there different products?
Yeah, it's essentially the same chairs. The difference is that with any one of our chairs, you can build it into a powered sofa, a powered recliner, a powered love seat, because in our collection we have an armless chair option. And so that's the difference. You think of it like a traditional sectional. When you go home tonight and you go into your family room, you sit there and there might be a sofa and a recliner, or a sofa and a love seat recliner collection in those rooms. And any of the seats that we offer have that capability to do that.
Okay. No, that makes sense. Now, in terms of whether people are, again, I would say the integration marketplace, are they primarily buying these days or selling, right? Because they're buying from you what they're selling to their customers. Are they buying powered seats or unpowered seats? I mean, what's the ratio of what you're seeing move these days?
Yeah, the majority is by far powered seats, because the differential in the dealer cost of a manual versus a powered seat has really changed in the last 5 years significantly, to the point where unless the consumer is asking for a manual chair specifically, price-wise or at the retail level, it's all powered chairs now.
It's all powered chairs.
Yes.
Okay. Now,
matter of fact, we just had updated our pricing sheets, and we've actually kind of just shown under options a manual chair to show you the difference in how the market's changed. We used to list manual and powered chairs. We've completely eliminated the manual listing as a line item. We just show it as an option now.
So I have a marketing question for you.
Yeah.
And that is, the average small businesses in the marketplace, the integrators and maybe the retailers that are buying or in the market to buy, and I don't imagine they stock, right? They purchase your products.
Correct.
Are you seeing that they're generally open to talking to new vendors, or do they generally buy from a portfolio of vendors? And the marketing question is, why do they buy RowOne products versus, say, brand X, Y, or Z? Sure.
So generally what we see is that the AV dealer, talking about, the customer as our customer, our direct customer, the AV dealer generally will have at least 2 furniture manufacturers under their umbrella. Usually they'll have a really high-end retail furniture manufacturer, and then what they're looking for and what's been kind of missing from their portfolio is something underneath that really high-end. And when we talk about really high-end, we're talking about a chair that retail might be $2,500 or higher. And so the benefit of RowOne and why the dealer community looks to us is because they're looking to capture a lot of the sales that they've lost or have been kind of given up to the furniture retailer as a competitor. And that's our advantage. Our advantage is that we have seating at an entry-level point. And when I talk about entry-level, we're talking about a chair, all high quality, all equal profit margin opportunity for the AV dealer. But we're talking about a chair that would start at under $1,000 retail in the case of our entry-level RowOne Direct, to the silver screen at a retail price of under $2,000 for top grain leather. So these are price points that the dealers recognize that they've missed, and in the past they've not had a place for the salesperson to go, and now they recognize that, hey, we don't have to give up that profit opportunity. We can actually have places to go with the end consumer that they didn't have before.
Now, how have you guys been able to do that? And I'll just say at a high level, generally when you think made in America, you think you're going to sacrifice, you're being loyal and or nationalistic, but you're maybe sacrificing in that you might have to spend more for said product. And I would challenge, in some cases, some customers are willing to spend more. Maybe not many, but some. And yet, you guys, from what I'm hearing, are making your furniture in North Carolina and Ohio. And so that's, I think furniture capital of North America. I'm not an expert, but I know I always hear about furniture being fabricated in North Carolina. And yet you're able to hit some price points that are fairly novel. Is that accurate? I mean, how do you guys do that?
Yeah, so the way that we do it, we're not unique in the ability to hit those price points. What we do is we do have to take the RowOne Direct line and the Silver Screen line, and we are actually manufacturing that overseas, and then we're bringing that in. And the way that we're able to bring in the entry level of RowOne Direct at that pricing level is by limiting the color choices. We know that dealers need to have something at that price point because a lot of that opportunity is being lost to big box furniture retailers or even like a Costco. And so the profit opportunity is being lost simply because they don't have the product available on the show floor. It's right. Not from a lack of consumer interest in that product. So, and the same true with the Silver Screen. And a lot of that goes back to our talk about Robert, our founder and president, and just having relationships. Robert's been in the furniture industry for over 20 years, and he's built a lot of relationships with manufacturers, not just domestically in the U.S., but also overseas.
So, Todd, you spent years running an integration firm, and now you're on the manufacturing side of the equation. How has your experience as an integrator helped form the view you have running sales and marketing for a manufacturer?
Yeah, I think it's helped me because when I'm able to share that with the AV dealer, there's some rapport and built-in trust. Probably the best example that I could give is, a lot of the AV dealers are worried about the impact of the internet in terms of pricing and protection. And, having the AV dealer background that I have, it's at the forefront of my mind. So one of the ways that we do that is we implement certain pricing requirements for anybody that is trying to offer the CEDIA through the internet. And, the dealers appreciate that. They want to know that, hey, you've got our back, and because of my background, I think that helps put them at ease with that aspect of the business.
What are some of the reasons you think that integrators perhaps are not selling theater or media room furniture? What's holding them back?
I think a lot of it, and again, this is just, from my experience in talking with the dealers, is a lot of them haven't returned back to the opportunity of selling seating, or they're just not, they didn't believe that there was a manufacturer that had product available to them at the price points we do, so that they could compete with the furniture big box retailers in the furniture channel. And so a lot of it is just that what we work really hard at is just bringing awareness to the AV dealer community that, hey, you know, this is the situation. You now actually have a high quality product available from RowOne, a reliable manufacturer in the industry. We're excited to work with you and provide you with product that the consumer is buying today, not from you, but from a big box furniture store, as an example. And we want that profit to come back to you, because it used to be with the AV dealer pre-recession, the consumer really didn't know about a powered furniture recliner to the way that we have it today as kind of a standard given that, well, of course my chair is going to, you know, power recline and have a cup holder in it, those type of things. So that's really the message we want to just share with the industry, is that, hey, give us a call. We've got a great collection of chairs. We've got some unique wood products that are add-ons to that seating sale. And we've also got a program that called the Diamond Delivery Program. And that's a second good example of concern by the dealer. When we talk with them, they're worried about, well, how am I going to deliver furniture chairs? Because a lot of them, you know, they had big box trucks. They could deliver those pieces pre-recession. All of those got sold, and the new fleet of the AV dealer doesn't have a 20 to 24 foot box truck on it.
Yeah, they've got much smaller vehicles in their fleet these days.
That's right. They're pickup trucks. They're Ford Focus.
So how do you help them handle or address that, or do you?
So we launched what was called Diamond Delivery, and it's out of their feedback. So RowOne's the only seating manufacturer in the United States that offers the Diamond Delivery. It's a white glove service. What we do is we essentially deliver the chairs from our warehouse or factory direct to that AV dealer's customer site, and it's a two-man team. They take the chairs off the truck, put them in exactly the room that the consumer is asking, unpack them, inspect them. The consumer just plugs them in, we train it, and we take all the garbage away, and just ask the dealer to go back and take the pictures for their Facebook site.
Oh, that's cool. So typically, or prior to the Diamond Delivery, an integrator would have to be able to receive these pieces of furniture, stock them or store them for some period of time, and then transport them to the job site. And you've removed all of that, all those logistics. Correct.
And any quality concerns with the inspection, I mean, if there's anything wrong with the chairs for whatever reason, the chairs get taken away. All that is also handled by RowOne.
Interesting. That's awesome. It sounds like some pretty cool innovation. It also sounds so obvious. Like, why did someone not think of this before? But a lot of the most, some of the best solutions strike you that way. So congratulations on figuring that out. Now, you just came back from the HTSA conference. I believe that was last week or in the last couple of weeks. How long have you guys been members of HTSA?
So we've been a member of HTSA now for 2 years and looking forward to continuing into 2018. The fall conference was last week in Chicago. We're very honored to be a part of that group. It's an exclusive association, and the dealers gave us great feedback. They're excited to build a relationship, and really a lot of them have that one relationship right now with a really high-end seating company, and so they were excited to add the RowOne line into the future. So we're looking forward to growing with John and his team and working closely to help those dealers have a great 2018.
Now, are you guys members of more than one buying group, or is that your only buying group?
We're members
At least in the AV channel. I know you may sell furniture in other spaces or other verticals.
Yeah, I would say in the AV channel, we're members of the AIN group, the Authorized Integrators Network. We're also members of Brand Source, ProSource, as well as members of Nationwide, and we are a CEDIA member. So, we care about this industry. We're passionate about it. As I mentioned, both Robert and I personally love working in the industry. We appreciate the opportunity to do it, and we want to demonstrate that by supporting the different associations and giving back to help everybody grow and have a good run.
Todd, if people, integrators, are listening to this and now or in the future, and they're interested in learning more about RowOne, are you the singular person they should reach out to?
Yeah, so the main number for RowOne, I'm happy to share, 616-583-3700. Any of the staff there, I'm the director of AV sales and marketing for the company at Extension 5. Our website is an awesome tool. Dealers like it.
I'm going to type it in now into the comments here on Facebook. What's the website domain?
The website is www.RowOneHT.com, and phone number is 616-583-3700.
583-3700?
Yes.
All right, we'll see how we operate here, folks. We're typing in live. All right, cool. All right, we had a bunch of people just join in. If you're out there watching live, please like the feed. Please share the feed. And if you have any questions for Todd, we're actually getting close here to wrapping up. But if you have any questions for Todd, please type those questions in and or just type in a comment and say hello. Let us know you're out there. Your feedback and knowing you're out there is always welcomed. Now, Todd, when you are not busy helping integrators grow their home theater seating and or their entertainment seating in their business, I understand for fun you like to ski, and specifically downhill ski. So I'm going to tell you my one story. I only have one because I'm afraid of heights.
Okay.
And I long ago, I was talked into going and riding a ski lift to the top of a mountain. And I remember getting off that ski lift. I had a snowboard strapped to my feet. And I remember being terrified that my life was about to end. And I remember laying on the ground so that at least I wouldn't accidentally start rolling off the mountain. So that's my downhill ski, Black Hill. I managed to get down the mountain, but it took a long time and it was very slow and painful. But do you go skiing quite a bit, or what is downhill skiing for you? What does that mean for you?
Yeah, so where did you embark on that adventure that one time? Where were you?
Yeah, you know what? I'm not even gonna. You're gonna laugh at me if I tell you. Let's just say it was not West Coast; it was East Coast.
Okay, all right.
So it wasn't even the big stuff, but it was big.
Yeah.
Hell, a third-story house is enough for me. So you get a couple thousand feet. That's enough to terrify me.
Yeah. So when we say we downhill ski in Michigan, of course, it's a little bit of not true mountain heights, like if you might see at Sun Valley out in Idaho or
Utah,
anywhere,
or Colorado, any of the nice stuff.
Correct. Yeah. So it's a safe version of downhill skiing, I guess would be the best way to put it. I've done it since being a small child. My dad taught me, and now I teach the girls, and so we get to enjoy it. It's about time for snowflakes to fly here in Michigan, and we're looking forward to spending some time before Christmas, hopefully at least once or twice in northern.
Do you have to go
Michigan.
far to go skiing?
Not really. You can get to a decent downhill ski facility within 3-hour drive from the Ann Arbor area. So, yeah.
Well, cheers. Well,
Thank
Todd,
you.
It has been a pleasure, sir. Thank you for carving out a little over 35 minutes for me here on Automation Unplugged. It's been a lot of fun learning about you and your background, as well as the successes you're having there at RowOne Home Entertainment.
Yeah, thanks, Ron. We appreciate it. I love the format. Wish you guys all the best. And to the AV community, we love conversations. Please consider to give me a call or reach out to us through the web. And we wish everybody well and continued success.
Awesome. Well, ladies and gentlemen, there we go. There I am. So thanks for joining me for another episode of Automation Unplugged. This was episode 22. How cool is that? Time's flying. The guests are racking up. And on that note, have an excellent rest of your Wednesday and rest of your week. Happy Halloween. We got Thanksgiving coming up here. We're going to blink and Thanksgiving's going to be upon us. So I will see everyone next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Ron.